still just sucks. Hi, hello, hi friends. It has been a minute. Hair has changed, but hi, if you don't know me, you can call me Totes, and my pronouns are she, her, hers. Ugh, it has been a rough time on the farm the last couple of weeks. Really, we have lost a few of our babies. If you follow me on social media, then you probably already know this. This is probably not new to you, but something that happens on farms is that there's loss, and it sucks and is hard. And even when we can go through the list of ways that maybe we could have prevented it and all of the ways that we couldn't have, still just sucks. And so I wanted to make a video about this particularly because I think that the responses I got from folks overall were so kind and lovely and wonderful and just what I was needing. We lost both Olaf and Isaac this last week, and a lot of it is hard because all of this is so public, right? One of my exciting things for me is getting to share the goats with all of you, to share my life with all of you, and that also means sharing those heartbreaking. For me, this was all really surprising this whole last week because on Saturday, the goats were all doing great, the babies seemed all fine, and then suddenly Monday morning, we're waking up to little Olaf being gone. And when we went to the vet, took Isaac with us because he didn't seem to be doing super great. And the vet basically was just like, oh yeah, he's not getting enough nutrition. And it's like, but how? Here's the list of all the things that we're doing. And the vet was like, oh yeah, that's not enough. Like, but it's been enough for the other goats, and it's been enough before. And it's, based on all of my, obsessively skimming through reading goat forums and reading books and everything, I just couldn't understand it. And he said, well, I think it was probably pneumonia because that would make most sense. And I was just like, oh, okay. And so he did a fecal sample on Isaac, which was good and what we're hoping that he would do, and sent us home with a bunch of stuff. And the next day, Isaac is doing better, seemingly better, and we get the call saying that, oh yeah, the fecal came back totally fine, no parasites, nothing, we're good to go. And so we're getting hopeful, and Isaac seems to be turning around. And then Wednesday he wasn't, and so another emergency vet visit, and we had a different doctor this time, and this doctor looked over Isaac's heart and was like, oh yeah, his coccidia is really high. And that is a parasite. It's not exactly the same as worms or lungworm or anything like that, but it still falls under the parasite fecal testing that you would normally do. And I was so surprised because before we had taken him to the vet on Monday, he was having no signs of anything like that. I mean, basically the vet was like, well, here's all the things you can throw at it. And the vet was even just like, don't even bother treating the other goats until you see signs of stuff. And I was like, no, we're gonna start treating everyone for coccidia right now, because if there's even coccidia present during a pregnancy, you usually treat all the goats for coccidia before the babies are born and after, but we had done all the fecal testing and there had been nothing prior. And so this isn't something that we could have fully prevented. Coccidia literally comes from the ground. And so especially when you have a really wet season, it's a good idea to keep track, to be looking at what's going on with your goats, samples and stuff. And I hadn't noticed anything, but it made sense to me that this would come up right now. We've had a coccidia outbreak before when we first got Lark, and we were able to manage it and keep everybody healthy and safe. But this time around, I just, the hard part of my own feelings around this is my own failure to have caught it soon enough, right? And so I wanted to make this video, one, to kind of share a little bit of that experience, but also to share a little bit about how to deal when there are things on your hobby farm that just break your heart, how to deal with grief on a hobby farm. Because as most of the responses I got from folks during this were ones of love and understanding and of just pointing out, hey, these are our pets, these are our babies, we totally understand, we're sending you all the love. I also got the response, of, well, it is farm life, and on the farm, that just kind of happens. And it's just like, yeah. And on much larger farms, definitely, like there's definitely, you know, the more animals you have, the more chance of things going wrong or of health issues or, you know, nature, right? But I wanted to kind of just give like a few tips of how I have been working through this last week. And if you're ever going through loss on your hobby farm, hopefully you find this video and it helps a little bit. And so I'm just gonna break it down into like 3 main things. Number 1, take care of yourself. How do you normally deal with grief? Recognize that that's probably what you're feeling right now, and it's okay. It is okay to have feelings of grief right now if you have lost one of your animals on your farm. Even if no one else seems to get it. They're your pets. They're your babies. And it's okay to be sad. How do you take care of yourself when you're feeling that way? Do you need an extra time in the bathtub? Do you need some extra text messages or messages from friends letting you know that they love you and that it's okay? Whatever it is, make sure you get it. Take care of yourself. Number 2, figure out as best as you can what is going on. I think that was a big hardship for me, is that we haven't had to go to a veterinary clinic since we moved here, because we've been using our like goat friends for like basic vaccinations and checkups and stuff, and so we haven't had to actually go to a vet clinic. And I often have mixed results going to actual veterinary clinics for goats, particularly because it tends to be that I either get somebody who is really good, they have goats, they understand the goat world, and are really incredibly helpful, and they know what to look for, what to ask. And then we also get people who are veterinarians who don't specialize in goats or don't have goats of their own. And I have had experiences where a veterinarian tried to tell me that there was no way my goat could be pregnant because she was in milk, which is not a thing. And similarly, we had this experience with this veterinarian who just didn't seem to understand that there could have been something else going on, or I guess didn't think to look more closely at the test results. I don't know. It was very strange, but try to find the answers as soon as you can, because generally with any hobby farm animal, but especially goats or chickens, if one animal is sick or has died or is having some kind of health thing going on, the likelihood that that is something that is contagious is high. And so whatever it might be, whether it's sending off samples to a local lab or going to your local vet or calling the person that you know who has been mentoring you through all of this, reach out to them, get some answers, and be proactive. So don't wait to treat your goats for coccidia until they are having diarrhea. Don't do that. If multiple goats that are in the same living quarters have had signs of this, or they had a high amount of coccidia in their samples, start treating now. Go get the Corid. Do it. Because by the time they're showing symptoms, especially in young kids, it's almost always too late. So don't wait. And then number 3, give yourself the space and the time to work through it all. If it helps you to go through all of the what ifs of, if I had noticed this sooner, if I had done this differently, do that, because it can help you to save an animal's life later. If doing that is only going to bog you down and keep you from feeling like you can even go and be with your animals, know that it does happen. It is hard, it is sad, and it is okay. And you are going to get through this, and your animals that you do have are going to get through this. And it's just time to focus on who you still have. And I think those are the 3 big things, really. Take care of yourself, take care of your animals, figuring out what's going on and being proactive with it all, and the space and the time to work through it all. And I think that when you do all of that, you'll find very quickly that you can get through it. This last week was really hard, and I will say on Friday, instead of working on this video or making any other video or doing much of anything, it was my day off, and I slept all day. All day. I just slept, and that was what I needed to do. And I'm grateful that I have a partner who was able to help with a lot of the veterinary needs through all of this, who was able to walk me through what the vet was saying, and also to listen to me when I told them that I thought the vet was full of poop. And we made it through. The goats are doing so much better now already. Steven and Elsa, who were the littles that I was most concerned about after Tuesday, are no longer having any symptoms at all and are almost 100% back to normal. And, you know, hearing those words, oh, you know, things on the farm, this happens sometimes, not super helpful for me. The words that really helped me through all of this were, my heart breaks with you, and I'm here for you, and how can I support you, and also just sending you love and hugs. And if you found this video because you're dealing with a loss on your hobby farm or just in your household from your animals, I hope that you're taking care of yourself, as well as looking at all the ways to be proactive and to care for your little fur babies that you love. And I don't know if this did help you, or if it just helped you feel not alone in your own losses in life. My socials are around somewhere if you want to follow, if you want to check out our Twitch, where we're streaming pretty regularly and at least weekly with our goats. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Bye!